Trudeau proving to Canadians that his carbon tax is hurting people economically by, it's right, buying votes in Nova Scotia. Well, Pierre Poilievre is doing pretty well in Nova Scotia right now. 1,000 common sense Canadians rally to axe the carbon tax in Windsor, Nova Scotia. Trudeau is having a meltdown seeing these people speaking their minds, and that's what he's doing exactly as he's coming in to try to bribe them. Hey, we're gonna get rid of that, a bit of that carbon tax for you over there in Nova Scotia. We're gonna make an exemption for people who use heating oil, he says.
The upfront costs of home heating oil, of heat pumps, is a significant impediment that the pricing signal was not sufficient to drive the change in behaviors that many people wanted to make. I spoke with many Atlantic Canadians who'd love to have a heat pump, but simply couldn't outlay the $20,000 required. Even with a existing $10,000 program, it wasn't enough to get them to change the behavior.
I gotta love how he just calls it a change in behavior. We're talking about human beings here. We're talking about human beings here. Just using the pricing scheme to get people to change behavior. 20 grand is a lot of money, especially with people in an economic downturn. Why do we have an economic downturn? Well, thanks to this guy. So he's alleviating people from having to pay so much for this oil, this heating oil in Nova Scotia, but not elsewhere in the country.
So we are nothing if not a government that listens to people, that is focused on our goals, and is willing to adjust as necessary. And that's why bringing in this program that is going to change people from heating oil to heat pumps in a way that is easy and affordable for them is exactly the right policy that leaves everyone better off.
Well, it's really just putting people in a difficult spot when it's already difficult because the economy's horrible. Now, this is something that people have been saying for some time. Winter's coming. Winter's coming. It's going to be cold. This is a big issue, and as they've been picking on, well, basically the people who aren't doing so hot already. These people are in economic dire straits. And of course, Shameless O'Regan in Nova Scotia, well, he's been singing a different tune lately.
I think it's really important because I know the debate at home has been centered on home heating oil, and most people aren't affected. This doesn't happen until July. I am sick and tired of people talking about the cold winter and what we're doing. I am sick and tired of people talking about the cold winter.
Oh, sick and tired of it.
You listen to our constituents. There's two ways of looking at it. I prefer the latter because that's exactly what happened. Spent the summer at home and people were like, this is happening, and I'm worried and very anxious about how the fall is going to happen. Right?
Wait, didn't Justin Trudeau say the same thing? Well, we're listening to our people after not listening to anybody forever. And why is this the case?
I'm worried and very anxious about how the fall is going to happen.
Oh, he's anxious.
I'm sick and tired of people talking about the cold winter and what we're doing.
Oh, I'm sick and tired of people telling me about the winter and how we're doing. Sounds like Ricky. I'm not kidding. I love the accent. I'm not making fun of you guys over in Nova Scotia there. But Shameless O'Regan getting out there to give his doublespeak. Absolutely. Thank you for pointing that out, Glenda, here with sharing this on Twitter. Now, Justin Trudeau says we're doubling the rural top out on pollution price rebate, temporarily pausing the federal price on pollution for heating oil and helping Atlantic Canadians switch to an electric heat pump. More on how we're delivering support on your energy bills. Well, why? Why are they doing that? And why is now the time to do that for just Nova Scotians? Isn't it just a big, bright country where a lot of people are paying a lot of money for the energy that they use? Why particularly Nova Scotia? Well, Pierre Poilievre had a press conference where he dives into just why.
What caused Justin Trudeau to freak out yesterday and hold a sudden press conference to announce that he was going to pause the carbon tax on home heating oil? The answer is that he was plummeting in the polls.
Oh.
And Pierre Poilievre was holding massive rallies in Liberal-held ridings to axe the tax.
All right. Well, while on the speaking in the third person there, Mr. Pierre Poilievre. But yeah, it's true. It's true. A lot of people are turning over, and they're coming to conservative rallies in, you guessed it, liberal country. It is normally liberal country over there, and people are fed up. This is after Christina Freeland went out there and basically just told people to suck it up. Suck it up, Buttercup. I know in Prince Edward Island, you guys use a lot of gasoline you have to travel. It's part of just the expense of living there. But suck it up. Well, turns out the people are turning on the Liberal Party, and they're not liking what they're seeing. And as we've seen, they're campaigning. They're campaigning pretty hard. We know there's not an election for a little bit, but when it does happen, or if it comes early, well, we know that a lot of these people will be shifting over to the Conservatives because of this.
Justin Trudeau's not worried about the cost of living. He's worried about the cost of votes.
Yeah.
And that's what caused his panicked flip-flop yesterday. Yesterday was the 1-year anniversary that Liberal MPs, including Liberal MPs from Newfoundland and Labrador, voted to keep taxes on home heating oil.
Mm-hmm.
But what does this announcement really mean? Well, one, Trudeau and the Liberals are still going to go ahead with a carbon tax on your gas and groceries, a tax they plan to quadruple to 61 cents a liter. Two, Justin Trudeau announced yesterday that if you re-elect him, he will put the tax back on your home heating oil.
Yes,
Three,
doesn't do very good.
he says, don't worry, he'll send you $11 more in the mail.
$11.
$11.
$11.
These days, that's a few cups of coffee.
Well, before we get into that $11, yeah, they're promising to put it back on afterwards. So you might as well just take the benefit, Nova Scotians, while Trudeau is still in government, on the rebate on the carbon tax, and then vote Conservative to get rid of the carbon tax. That would be a win-win situation. It doesn't look like it would be much of a win if you voted the Liberals in. You're just going to get that back anyway.
Who's going to feed themselves on $11?
$11.
While he drives up the cost of the gas and diesel that you put in your car, the fuel that goes into the boats of our fishermen, and into the tractors of our farmers.
I'll leave a link in the description down below. You can check out this whole video all together. He goes into talking about how the carbon tax is an inflationary tax. It's a food tax. If you tax fuel, it rises the prices of all the food around. Of course, they want to blame it on grocery CEOs. Yeah, ludicrous. But anyway, question comes in. So what are you going to do to tackle climate change? This is always the thing. And I've always had it in my head that, Canadians do care about the environment. I know that there's a lot of crazy, the sky's falling, the world is about to end climate alarmism. But I do think that we have an environmental responsibility. And I think he nails it on this question.
Peter Cowan with CBC. I want to ask you about your plan for addressing climate change. You said technology, not taxes. Does this mean larger subsidies than already exist for clean energy and technology? And would you leave in place any regulations currently there meant to curtail greenhouse gas emissions?
Thank you very much for your question. We're going to green light green projects. Right now, the biggest obstacle to clean energy is government gatekeepers. It takes 25 years to get a mine approved. That's why we don't mine lithium for electric cars' batteries. We import that refined lithium from China, where they burn coal to produce it. I would quickly green light lithium mines. I would compress the timelines to assess the safety of small modular nuclear reactors so that we can power our grid with clean, green, emissions-free nuclear. I would remove the duplication so that Quebec can more quickly build its hydroelectric dams to double emissions-free hydroelectricity production in that province so that we can power the green economy of the future. I would green light tidal wave power like the kind Trudeau killed off the coast of Nova Scotia. I would incentivize and approve carbon capture and storage projects in Western Canada so that we can bring down the emissions and have the lowest emitting barrel of oil that comes out of the ground. I would greenlight natural gas liquefaction projects that will be the lowest emitting anywhere on Earth, using clean hydroelectricity and cold weather to liquefy the gas, and the short shipping distances to send it to Asia and shut down dirty coal-fire Asian plants, coal-fire plants, and replace it with clean Canadian gas, and send it to Europe so that we can break European dependence on Putin and Qatar and turn dollars for dictators into paychecks for our people.
So again, link in the description down below. You can watch this in its entirety. I think it's worth a watch, so it's down in the description down below. Now, Blacklock's reporter reporting that, well, yeah, it's a fact. When Justin Trudeau gets elected again, if he does, he'll bring that tax right back up for Nova Scotians. So what's the point of voting for him? But he's trying to vote. He's trying to buy votes, and this is the whole point of this. Now, Unacceptable Derek on Twitter saying, I guess killing the carbon tax out east will bring a wave of hurricanes next year. I mean, it worked this year, right? And that makes a lot of sense. It's hilarious because what are we actually thinking here? What is going on in people's heads when it comes to this stuff? It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable that you think that a carbon tax is actually going to change the weather, but yeah, this is the crazy world that we live in. Anyway, we're going to be live streaming. I'm going to have special guest Northern perspective on tonight. I'm looking forward to that. I've been looking forward to that all week, so be sure to tune in. A little bit of things changing this week. Going to be going, instead of the after stream going to Discord, we're going to be going to Twitter Spaces. So if you're an X user, check out the after stream. But first, check out the stream. Obviously, we'll probably be streaming by the time you watch this. So get on over there into the live stream here on YouTube. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Go for about 2 hours, and then going into the Twitter X, whatever you want to call it, Spaces, where you can contribute and you can join in and talk. Well, I hope to see you there. Anyway, we'll see you in the next one. Keep on trekking.